Okay, so today we're going to be putting together the MyFit leggings. I went and inputted all of my information and printed the pattern out. I'm going to be doing the option with the side panel and the pocket. And so you're going to need 2 pocket bands and then both pieces of the waistband and then a side panel top, a side panel bottom, and let's see what else. And then the 2 main leg pieces. And then here's the side panel bottom. So you'll notice that there are notches. I like to take a piece of chalk and mark the notches instead of cutting them out. So I mark them on the right side of the fabric as well. Especially with supplex, it's kind of hard to tell which one's the right side and which one's the wrong side. So if you mark it with the chalk, you won't have any issues when you're sewing, making sure that it's always the right sides are facing out. So the first thing we're going to do is take your pocket bands and fold them in half with wrong sides together and go ahead and clip along the top there. I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but in this pattern you can pick any size seam allowance that you want. So we'll go ahead and clip along the top with these folded in half. Just like that. Okay, so now we have the side panel bottom piece. You're going to, with the right side facing up, you're going to take one of your bands and clip that to the top here, lining up those raw edges, and then sew those together. And you're going to do that on both sides. Line up the raw edges and sew. I'm going to use my serger since it has a 1/4 inch width stitch, and then you can always reinforce with a triple stretch stitch on your sewing machine. For the pocket, I won't find that necessary. Okay, so I have the band sewn to the bottom side panel. You see that here, and then I flipped the seam allowance down and went ahead and top stitched it right on top of that seam allowance. So now you're going to take the side panel top and lay those 2 pieces out with right sides facing up. So the right sides are facing up here, and you'll see the notches. So now you're going to take the notches of the bottom piece and line them up with the top piece. And so the wrong side of the bottom piece is going to be facing the right side of the top piece. So we'll line those up and go ahead and clip those together along the sides. While you're basting the sides, you can also sew along the bottom. I would use a triple stretch stitch to sew along the bottom, or the lightning bolt stitch, to really reinforce the bottom of the pocket so it doesn't bust open when you have your stuff inside of it. Alright, so now we're going to be attaching the back panel. The back panel only has a single notch, so make sure that that is marked. Then you're going to take your back panel and line up that single notch with the single notch on the side panel with the right sides together. So lay the notches so they're matching. And then you're going to clip along this side and sew these ones together. So line up the single notch and then clip all the way down, and then do that for both of the leg pieces. Okay, now I have the back attached. We are going to attach the front. So you're going to be doing the same thing. The front just has 2 notches. So take the side that has, with the right side facing up, line up the 2 notches with the 2 notches of the side panel. Lay that right on top of it. Right sides are together. And then you are going to clip all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to do this for both legs. All right, and then go ahead and sew this part. All right, next we're going to sew the crotch, the back crotch and the front crotch together. So you're going to lay one of the pieces right side up and then lay the other piece on top of it, right side down. And then you're going to go ahead and clip the inseams together, or clip the crotch curves together. All right, so go ahead and sew here and sew here, and definitely reinforce those stitches with this triple stretch stitch. Okay, so now we have both of the curves sewn. We're gonna open the leggings up. So this is the seam where the back crotch curve ends, and this is the seam where the front crotch curve ends. You're gonna line those up together and go ahead and place a clip there, and then work your way down the leg. So we're working on the inseam now. So work your way down the leg, clipping these together. All the way down, and then do the same thing on the other side. And then you're going to sew this together. So you can go up one leg, hit the crotch seam, and then down the other leg. And then after we're done doing that, you're going to take the waistband. So we have a front waistband and a back waistband. So you're going to take one of the front waistbands and lay it right side facing up. And then you're going to take one of the back waistbands and lay it right side facing down and right on top of it. So right sides are together. And do that for both of the waistband pieces. So we have a front and a back right sides together, and you're going to sew along these edges right here and right here. Okay, just a couple more steps and then we're going to be all finished. So to hem, I like to serge around the bottom of the leg and then fold it up and then clip it in place. I did a 1/2 inch hem width, so I'll just clip this up a 1/2 inch all the way around. And I like to hem with a zigzag stitch. I feel like it gives it the most give. So hem all the way around, or fold it up all the way around. And then go ahead and hem it. On this side, I already hemmed it. Okay, so once you're done with that, we'll set those aside, and then you can get your waistband pieces. You're going to turn one of the waistband pieces right side out and slide it down over the top of, so they're going to be right sides together. And then go ahead and clip the side seams. Alright, and then clip all the way around on the top. And then you can go ahead and sew these together. The top of the waistband is the side that is more in than the bottom. So this sticks out a little bit more than this does to make the contour waistband. So go ahead and sew around the top of this and then hem your pants. Alright, so the last step is to turn the waistband the right side out and then find the quarter points, and then you're going to line those quarter points up with the quarter points of the pants. So we'll take the center front and clip that to the center front, and then turn it over and do the same thing for the center back, and then do the side seams. So right in the middle of the pot or the side panel, And then go ahead and sew around the top and reinforce this stitch as well. So we're going to sew around here and then go ahead and reinforce it, and then your pants are complete.